Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must pause, step back, and truly evaluate the people you allow into your circle. You see, one of the greatest mistakes we make is assuming that everyone who smiles at us is for us, that everyone who stands beside us is standing with us. But the truth is sobering. Many people you call friends are not really friends. They are simply companions of convenience. They are there for the laughter, but absent in the struggle. They are present for the benefits, but missing in the battles. True friendship is not measured by how many people surround you when things are easy. It is proven in the furnace of hardship. Real friends sharpen you. They build you. They challenge you to rise higher. But counterfeit friends, they drain, distract, and disguise themselves as supporters while silently hoping for your downfall. So today, I want to show you why it is critical to discern the difference. Because until you learn who truly belongs in your life, you will continue to carry the wrong people into the right places. And that can sabotage your destiny. This message is not to make you suspicious of everyone, but to give you wisdom, to open your eyes, and to protect your future. Because, ladies and gentlemen, not everyone who walks with you is assigned to your destiny. And today I'm going to tell you why. True friends are proven in adversity, not in convenience. This is one of life's greatest lessons, yet one that often comes wrapped in pain, disappointment, and betrayal. When life is easy, when your hands are full, and when your table is overflowing, people naturally gather around you. They enjoy the fruit of your labor, they celebrate your victories, and they laugh in the moments of joy. But the true test of a friend is not seen in the sunlight of prosperity. It is revealed in the midnight of adversity. The weight of hardship exposes what ease conceals. Anyone can stand beside you when the music is playing, but only those truly connected to your destiny will remain when the music stops and silence fills the room. When you go through storms, when your back is against the wall, when your name is being dragged through the mud, that is when you will see who is genuinely for you. Real friends do not run when the winds of life blow. They anchor themselves deeper into your life. They do not shrink back when others doubt you. They defend you, cover you, and remind you of who you are. They don't look for opportunities to escape during trials. They look for opportunities to strengthen your hands when they are weak. A friend who only celebrates your success but disappears during your suffering is not a friend but a fan. And fans are temporary. They cheer for the show, not for the person. Think for a moment about your own life. Who was there when you had nothing to give? Who stood by you when the doors closed and the lights went out? Who called to check on you when you were forgotten by others? These are the silent tests that life places before us to reveal the hearts of people. Adversity has a way of burning away the counterfeit and leaving only the authentic. Fire does not destroy true gold, it purifies it. Likewise, trials do not destroy real friendships, they strengthen them. Convenience-based relationships are shallow. They are built on what you can provide, not on who you are. They exist only as long as the benefits flow. But the moment the benefits dry up, the people vanish. Such relationships can deceive you into believing you are surrounded, when in reality, you may only be crowded. There is a difference between being surrounded by support and being crowded by opportunists. Adversity clears that difference. It strips away the masks and exposes the motives. There is also another dimension to this truth. Sometimes adversity reveals not only who your true friends are, but also who you are to others. Some people will endure hardship for you because of the love and value they place on your life. Others will step back because they were never meant to walk the whole journey with you. This is not something to mourn, but to understand. God often uses hardship to prune your circle, to separate the seasonal from the eternal, the shallow from the deep, and the pretenders from the genuine. If everyone could go with you into every level of life, you would never discover the strength of discernment. Adversity forces you to discern. The reality is that adversity does not create true friends. It reveals them. It is a mirror that shows you who is truly connected. When you are misunderstood, a true friend will seek understanding. When you fall, a true friend will not laugh, but will extend their hand. When you succeed after failing, a true friend will rejoice without envy. These qualities cannot be faked in hardship. They are either present or absent. If you want to measure the strength of your relationships, don't look at who is there when the sun is shining. Look at who is standing when the storm is raging. Don't judge by who claps the loudest when you win. Judge by who weeps with you when you lose. Don't count the ones who benefit from your table. Count the ones who will still sit with you when the table is empty. This is the divine wisdom of adversity. It is the filter through which true friendship passes and emerges stronger. So never fear adversity. Instead, allow it to do its work. It may hurt when people you thought were friends walk away, but it is a necessary hurt. It is better to know the truth than to live in deception. Painful revelation is always better than comfortable illusion. In the end, adversity will leave you with fewer people, but stronger connections, fewer companions, but deeper bonds, fewer hands, but more loyal hearts. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you discover the priceless treasure of true friendship. Counterfeit friends are attracted to benefits, not your being. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, because we all desire to believe that the people around us value us for who we are rather than for what we have. Yet life shows us repeatedly that many relationships are not built on love, respect, or genuine connection, but on advantage. Counterfeit friends are not drawn to your heart. They are drawn to your hand. They are not interested in your journey. They are interested in your harvest. They don't see you as a person of worth. They see you as a resource to exploit. And as long as you are giving, they are staying. But the moment the benefits dry up, their loyalty evaporates. Think about the seasons in your life when you were in a position to give, maybe financially, emotionally, or through opportunities. You might have noticed how people flocked to you, how they praised you, how they made you feel indispensable. But the test is not in how many gather when you give. The test is in how many remain when you can no longer provide what they seek. A counterfeit friend disappears when the benefits disappear because their relationship was never with you. It was with what you carried. They were connected to the blessing, not to the blesser, to the provision, not to the provider, to the opportunity, not to the person. This is why some of the most successful people also speak about feeling the most lonely. They are surrounded by people who admire their wealth, their influence, or their platform, but very few who actually see the human being beneath the surface. A counterfeit friend doesn't want to know your struggles, your insecurities, or your scars. They are only present for the glamour, the shine, and the advantages. They do not feed your soul. They feed on your resources. One of the dangers of keeping counterfeit friends close is that they blur your discernment. You begin to confuse company with companionship, presence with loyalty, flattery with love. These people know how to say the right words, but their motives are empty. They are like shadows. They follow you only when the light is shining, but they vanish the moment darkness arrives. And if you are not careful, you may mistake their presence for real support, when in truth, they are simply hanging on for what they can extract. Another mark of a counterfeit friend is their inconsistency. They are enthusiastic when the relationship benefits them, but distant when you need them. They answer the phone quickly when they want something, but they are suddenly unavailable when you call for help. They are visible in the crowd, but invisible in the crisis. They applaud your success because it gives them something to share in, but deep down, they do not rejoice for you. They rejoice for what they can gain from your elevation. Such people are dangerous. because they are not simply passive. They are often envious, competitive, and draining. They secretly resent your progress, but stay connected to benefit from it. If you pay attention, counterfeit friends always reveal themselves over time. Listen to their conversations. Are they always taking, but never giving? Watch their actions. Do they celebrate only when there is something in it for them? Observe their consistency. Are they with you when you are at your lowest, or do they only reappear when you rise again? Life is too short to be surrounded by leeches who drain your energy, strip your peace, and consume your resources. The tragedy is that many people hold on to counterfeit friendships out of fear of loneliness. They would rather have users in their life than face the silence of separation. But what you must understand is that counterfeit friends are more costly than solitude. Being alone may hurt for a season, but being drained by people who don't truly care will destroy your spirit over a lifetime. It is better to walk alone in truth than to walk together in deception. Counterfeit friends also block the path for genuine ones. As long as you are investing your time, energy, and trust in people who don't truly care, you have little space left for those who do. It's like watering weeds and wondering why your flowers aren't growing. By entertaining counterfeit relationships, you deprive yourself of the richness that true friendship brings: mutual growth, honest correction, unconditional support, and shared joy. The key is discernment. You must learn to separate those who love you for who you are from those who love what you give. The good news is that life itself has a way of exposing counterfeit friends. When you go through loss, when you face hardship, or when you no longer have what they want, they will walk away. And though it may hurt, it is actually a blessing in disguise. Their absence is not your loss. It is your gain. For in their leaving, you are freed to discover the value of authentic relationships. Those who stand with you not because of what you offer, but because of who you are. So remember this truth: counterfeit friends are attracted to benefits, not your being. They come for the fruit, not for the tree. They come for the provision, not for the person. And until you learn to discern between the two, you will waste your energy on the wrong people. But once you understand this, you will begin to protect your heart, guard your circle, and make room for the rare treasure of those who love you simply because you are you. Association influences destiny. Choose your circle wisely. This principle is one of the most overlooked truths in life, yet it determines the trajectory of your future more than almost anything else. The people you surround yourself with are not neutral. They are either pulling you forward or holding you back. Every relationship is a current. Some push you toward your purpose, while others drag you away from it. And the tragedy is that many people never fulfill their potential, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they chose the wrong associations. Who you walk with will ultimately shape who you become. Consider the power of influence. Human beings are social creatures. We adapt to our environment, we absorb behaviors, and we mirror the values of those closest to us. If you walk with dreamers, you will begin to dream. If you walk with complainers, you will find yourself complaining. If you walk with visionaries, you will be challenged to rise higher. If you walk with doubters, you will eventually stop believing in yourself. Association is contagious. You cannot keep company with negativity and expect to live in positivity. You cannot walk with fools and expect wisdom to govern your decisions. This is why the ancient wisdom says, bad company corrupts good character. You may have the purest intentions, the strongest values, and the greatest dreams, but if you continually surround yourself with people who oppose those values, undermine those intentions, and laugh at those dreams, slowly but surely their influence will weaken your resolve. Destiny is fragile, it must be protected, and the wrong associations can derail what years of effort and faith have built. Think about an eagle. It is designed to soar, to rise above the storms, to see further than other birds. But imagine if that eagle spent all its time among chickens. The chickens would never understand the eagle's vision. They would mock its attempts to fly, and they would convince it to stay grounded. The eagle would eventually begin to believe it is just another chicken living far below its potential. This is what happens when gifted people associate with those who do not share their values or vision. You begin to settle for less than you were created for because your environment normalizes mediocrity. On the other hand, the right associations ignite destiny. When you connect with people of vision, courage, and integrity, their example challenges you to rise higher. They don't let you stay comfortable in your excuses. They push you to grow. They speak words that ignite faith, not fear. They remind you of who you are when you forget yourself. These people sharpen your mind, refine your character, and accelerate your journey. The right associations become destiny helpers, lifting you when you are weak and holding you accountable when you drift. But choosing wisely requires discernment. Not everyone who enters your life deserves a permanent seat. Some are meant to walk with you for a season, others for a lifetime. Some are divine connections, others are distractions dressed as opportunities. If you lack discernment, you will hold on to people who should have been released, and you will release people who should have been embraced. And that single mistake can alter the course of your future. Your circle is your environment, and your environment will either cultivate or choke your destiny. This is why it is so important to evaluate your associations regularly. Ask yourself, do the people around me inspire growth or promote stagnation? Do they celebrate my progress or secretly resent it? Do they challenge my weaknesses or enable them? Do they encourage me to honor my values or tempt me to compromise them? If the answers reveal that your circle is toxic, then it is not just a matter of preference. It is a matter of destiny. Keeping the wrong people in your life is not just a waste of time, it is a sabotage of purpose. Many people fear changing their circle because they don't want to appear arrogant or ungrateful. But protecting your destiny is not arrogance, it is stewardship. You are responsible for your life, your calling, and your future. And if certain associations threaten that, you must have the courage to walk away. Loneliness for a season is better than regret for a lifetime. It is better to walk alone in alignment with your purpose than to walk with many who lead you away from it. The truth is, your circle is prophetic. Show me your friends, and I can predict your future. If you want to know where you are headed, look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they going anywhere? Do they value growth, discipline, and vision? Do they honor God, truth, and integrity? Or are they stagnant, careless, and content with mediocrity? You cannot rise higher than the company you keep. Association sets the ceiling for your life. So choose wisely. Your destiny is too precious to gamble with toxic relationships. Surround yourself with people who see greatness in you, who remind you of your purpose, who celebrate your progress without envy, and who are not intimidated by your dreams. Let your circle be filled with those who fuel your faith, challenge your character, and inspire your vision. Because in the end, association influences destiny. And if you want to reach the fullness of your purpose, you must walk with those who are heading in the same direction. A real friend sharpens you, not weakens you. This is one of the defining qualities that separates authentic relationships from shallow ones. A true friend does not simply make you feel comfortable, they make you grow. They do not allow you to remain stagnant, complacent, or trapped in cycles that destroy you. Instead, they challenge you, confront you, and sometimes even offend you, not because they dislike you, but because they want the best for you. A genuine friend is like iron sharpening iron. The process may create sparks. It may cause friction, but it produces strength, clarity, and refinement. Many people confuse friendship with flattery. They believe that someone who constantly agrees with them must be loyal. But flattery is not friendship, it is manipulation. A flatterer tells you what you want to hear, while a friend tells you what you need to hear. A flatterer keeps you weak because your weakness benefits them. A real friend risks your offense because your growth matters more than your approval. They see potential in you that you cannot see in yourself, and they refuse to let you settle for less. Think about it. The relationships that truly changed you were not always the most comfortable, but the most challenging. The teacher who pushed you beyond your limits, the mentor who refused to accept your excuses, the companion who called you out when you were wrong. These are the people who left lasting marks on your life. A true friend is not one who keeps you smiling in your comfort zone, but one who stretches you into your purpose. They are not intimidated by your greatness, and they are not afraid to confront your weakness. A weakening friend, on the other hand, enables your worst habits. They laugh at your foolishness, encourage your compromises, and normalize your mediocrity. When you drift, they drift with you. When you lower your standards, they celebrate your recklessness. Instead of lifting you, they drag you deeper. Such people are not friends, they are silencers of destiny. Their presence may feel enjoyable for a moment, but their influence weakens your character, your discipline, and your vision. True friendship sharpens in 3 key ways. First, it sharpens your character. A real friend holds you accountable to your values. When you are tempted to compromise, they remind you of who you are. When you are on the verge of giving up, they speak courage into your spirit. They see beyond your emotions and point you back to principles. Second, a real friend sharpens your vision. They ask you questions that stir your thinking. They challenge your small dreams, and they provoke you to see possibilities you were blind to. They won't let you shrink back from opportunities because of fear. They will remind you that you were made for more. Third, a real friend sharpens your resilience. They don't simply sympathize with your struggles, they strengthen you through them. They may weep with you, but they also help you rise again. They are not content to leave you on the ground. It is important to recognize that sharpening is not always pleasant. Just as iron creates sparks when it collides, so too can truth create discomfort when spoken. A real friend may say words that sting, but they are words that save. They may confront you in moments when you would prefer silence, but silence in those moments would be betrayal. Love does not always feel soft. Sometimes it feels like correction. But that correction is the very thing that keeps you aligned with your destiny. If you surround yourself with people who only weaken you, you will find yourself drifting further from your purpose. Your standards will erode, your focus will blur, and your growth will stall. But if you surround yourself with those who sharpen you, your life will continually improve. Your weaknesses will be refined, your strengths will be multiplied, and your potential will be unlocked. One of the greatest blessings in life is to have even one friend who sharpens you. Such people are rare because it is easier for most to keep the peace than to speak the truth. If you find someone who tells you the hard things in love, honor them. If you find someone who refuses to let you give up on your dreams, value them. If you find someone who calls you to a higher standard, keep them close. These are not just friends, they are destiny partners. At the same time, you must ask yourself, are you sharpening the people in your life, or are you weakening them? Friendship is mutual. Just as you need those who sharpen you, others need you to sharpen them. True friendship is a two-way street of encouragement, accountability, and growth. If you are only receiving and never giving, you are not truly a friend, you are only a consumer. But if you are challenging, uplifting, and strengthening others, you are contributing to their destiny as they contribute to yours. A real friend sharpens you, not weakens you. They do not let you remain small when you are called to be great. They do not let you compromise when you are called to stand tall. They do not feed your excuses. They feed your potential. And in the end, you will look back on your life and realize that the people who sharpened you were the ones who truly loved you. Because love is not about keeping you comfortable. It is about pushing you to become everything you were created to be. Some people are assignments, others are distractions. This is a truth that, once understood, changes the way you approach every relationship in your life. Not everyone who enters your world is meant to remain there. Some come with divine purpose, carrying lessons, opportunities, or encouragement that will move you closer to your destiny. They are sent as assignments placed by God or by life itself to refine you, teach you, or assist you. But alongside these are those who appear appealing, convincing, and even comforting, yet their presence derails your focus, consumes your energy, and blinds you from your true path. They are distractions, and their purpose is not to build, but to block. The tragedy is that many people spend years trying to turn distractions into assignments. They invest energy in people who were never meant to go beyond a chapter in their story. They cling to relationships that have already expired, hoping that loyalty will somehow turn them into destiny partners. But a distraction, no matter how much effort you pour into it, will never become an assignment. In fact, the more you hold on to distractions, the longer you delay your progress toward your purpose. Assignments are recognizable because they add value to your journey. They do not always come wrapped in convenience. Sometimes they come in the form of challenges, mentors who correct you, or companions who stretch you. But even when the process is uncomfortable, you can feel the alignment. Assignments push you forward, open your eyes to new possibilities, and strengthen your character. They are not always permanent, but they always leave you better than they found you. An assignment may be the friend who shows up during your darkest time and helps you rediscover your strength. It may be the mentor who pushes you beyond mediocrity. It may even be the critic whose words force you to grow in resilience. Every assignment has a purpose to shape you into who you were destined to be. Distractions, on the other hand, take without giving. They consume your energy but never invest in your growth. They pull your focus toward trivial matters, keeping you entangled in cycles of drama, negativity, or stagnation. Distractions may look attractive, but their fruit is emptiness. They waste your time with conversations that do not build, activities that do not matter, and pursuits that do not align with your vision. They demand your attention but offer you nothing of eternal value. The longer you entertain them, the further you drift from your assignment. The challenge is that distractions often disguise themselves as assignments. They come smiling, they come flattering, they come appearing helpful. They may even walk with you for a season, but their true nature reveals itself over time. While an assignment multiplies your energy, a distraction drains it. While an assignment clarifies your vision, a distraction clouds it. While an assignment helps you grow, a distraction keeps you stagnant. If you pay close attention to the effects people have on your spirit, you will know who is who. Understanding this truth requires courage. It means being willing to let go of people who feel comfortable, but are actually keeping you from your calling. It means refusing to be guilt-tripped into maintaining relationships that God has already ended. It means recognizing that loyalty to distractions is disloyalty to your destiny. Sometimes, the greatest act of love for yourself is to walk away from those who were never meant to walk with you. But let us not misunderstand, distractions are not always malicious. Some people are simply not equipped to handle the weight of your journey. They may not be bad, but they are not right for where you are going. It is not about condemning them. It is about discerning their place in your life. When you stop expecting everyone to be an assignment, you free yourself from unnecessary disappointment. This principle also works in reverse. Just as others may be assignments or distractions to you, you must ask yourself, are you an assignment or a distraction in someone else's life? Are you helping people grow, align, and fulfill their destiny? Or are you keeping them stuck in cycles of mediocrity? True maturity comes not only from recognizing the roles others play, but also from evaluating the role you play. In life, wisdom is knowing the difference between assignments and distractions. Assignments may challenge you, but they change you for the better. Distractions may entertain you, but they leave you empty. Assignments lift you toward your destiny. Distractions detour you away from it. Assignments are aligned with your purpose. Distractions are aligned with your comfort. And until you discern between the two, you will always confuse movement with progress. The key is clarity. Spend time in reflection. Ask yourself, does this person add to my vision or subtract from it? Do they strengthen my discipline or weaken it? Do they help me rise or keep me low? Are they aligned with my values, or do they pull me into compromise? The answers will reveal whether someone is an assignment or a distraction. And when you know the truth, have the courage to act on it. Protect your destiny, honor your purpose, and choose wisely. For in the end, some people are assignments, others are distractions. And the direction of your life depends on your ability to know the difference. Letting go of the wrong friends makes room for the right ones. This is a truth that many resist because releasing people often feels like failure, disloyalty, or even loneliness. Yet life has seasons, and with each new season comes the necessity of pruning. Just as a gardener cuts away branches that no longer bear fruit, so too must we cut away relationships that no longer serve our growth. Holding on to the wrong people may feel safe, but it is a silent prison that prevents you from embracing the relationships that could truly transform your destiny. The space you refuse to clear is the very space where your blessings are meant to arrive. The reality is that not every friend is meant to walk with you into every chapter of your life. Some were only assigned for a season. They may have been helpful in one stage, but toxic in another. They may have encouraged you at the beginning, but become jealous when you rise. They may have once aligned with your values, but later drifted into a path that no longer matches yours. The mistake comes when you refuse to release them, choosing comfort over calling. By clinging to what was, you prevent what could be. Letting go is never easy because it often comes wrapped in memories. You think of the laughter you shared, the moments of support, and the history you built. But history is not destiny. Just because someone was part of your past does not mean they belong in your future. The measure of a true friend is not how long you have known them, but how much they contribute to who you are becoming. If their presence now poisons your peace, clouds your vision, or weakens your values, then holding on to them is not loyalty, it is sabotage. When you let go of the wrong friends, you create space for alignment. The right people cannot enter a life that is already crowded with the wrong ones. Imagine trying to pour fresh water into a cup already filled with poison. No matter how much good is added, the contamination remains. The same is true in relationships. As long as you hold on to toxic friendships, the healthy ones cannot flourish. God often sends new connections, but they cannot take root because the soil of your life is still cluttered with weeds. The right friends are not just companions, they are builders. They remind you of your worth when you forget it. They stand with you in silence when words cannot heal. They celebrate your victories without jealousy and endure your failures without judgment. They sharpen your character, ignite your vision, and protect your heart. But these people rarely